Hi guys, welcome back to the Aoife show. Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. So let's talk about who is Josh Little.
I am a dad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be a dad, but I actually became one. I brought in some young people into my life. Pretty much around town here, I am known as Uncle Josh. Every kid can come to me. I have a snack shelf in my apartment. We can talk about school. We can talk about peace. We can talk about how you don't have to be fighting and screaming all the time. And I am an advocate for peace and for finding understanding and just making a better life. I am not a fan of where I live here in a small little rural town, but if I can't love it the way that it is, then it's my responsibility to make it a better place.
I
So
love that.
that's what I do.
Okay. Now, was it always your dream to change the world or this small town, or how did that come about?
I am the son of a Pentecostal preacher.
Okay.
And I was on the track to have an REV in front of my name. Went through theological training, was part of a ministry team. I traveled the East Coast of the United States. I have spoken before audiences of 10,000 people and also the side of a bridge in Baltimore.
Okay.
I've been just about everywhere. But I wasn't who I wanted to be. I wasn't living the life of a genuine person. So I came out as gay to my parents on September 9th, 2001. Perfect
Okay.
timing.
Uh-huh.
2 days later was September 11th.
You caused that.
That's what they said. That is what they said. So it has been a journey of healing and recovery with my parents, who both love me and don't understand me, but they're there and they love me, and we live a good life. Good life in this town. I moved away, got married to a wonderful man. We just weren't wonderful for each other. And so I've been back in Sebring for about 4 years, establishing my friend groups and helping a lot of young people, working with a local affirming, accepting church called Unity of Sebring, and just living the life.
Okay, that's good. Now, has there ever been a moment where you think maybe you should have followed in your dad's footsteps, or does every day solidify that yes, you made the right choice?
I'm very opinionated, so in that way I'm still following in my dad's footsteps. I'm just not backing it up with what the Lord says. It's just the Josh says that bagel is overcooked, or you should drive better. Have you heard of turn signals?
Oh.
I think the preacher gene is still there, but I find quieter ways of serving my community.
Okay. So the one-on-one is important to you, and you mentioned that you didn't plan on becoming a dad. So let's talk a little bit. How did that come about?
I had a middle school buddy of mine who lived in poverty. Had a ton of kids and needed help. Things weren't great with their husband, and so I would step in, or my husband and I would step in, and we'd buy dinner, or we'd take them to a cultural event over in Brevard County. There's always something going on, and slowly but surely, the oldest of the gang started becoming really, really close with our family, and their family ended up splitting back up. So mom stayed in my area, dad moved back to Highlands County with all of the other kids, but this particular child stayed. And later I discovered that mom was being terribly abusive, beating and starving the child, and more. And I finally found out about it, and what I did, I put a stop to it. Just dead ass, we were done. I looked at her and I just said, congratulations, this is your last day abusing your child. I snatched him up. We went and got his belongings, and a group of friends and I did, and they threatened violence, and I said, please do, call the police. Let's hash all of this out. We'll call the police. We'll sort it out, or we can just give this kid a shot at a good life. And that's how I came to have my son.
Okay.
And for the first year, anytime I'd reach out to give a hug, I'm a huggy guy. I just I'm affectionate. I love people. And I would reach out to give him a hug, and he would cower. He was so used to anybody reaching out to him, there was going to be a slap behind it. He couldn't believe that he was allowed to eat anything he wanted, and that he didn't have to ask permission to go to the refrigerator, and that if something disappeared, I would just buy more. And he had failed in school because he was staying home to babysit the other children. He had missed 35 days of school. That's 7 weeks in 1 year. We wrote an appeal because they were going to fail him for attendance. His English grade was 12. That's his native language, is English, and he's got a 12 in English. But through a really difficult month, my best friend moved in. We drove him a half hour each way to school every day, and worked with his teachers and got him through. He graduated 9th grade. By 10th grade, he was on the honor roll. By 11th grade, he was straight A's. And by 12th grade, he was in college and high school and the National Honor Society, and never looked back. He has a degree in cybersecurity, works for a national coffee chain doing IT, and is just killing it. And I'm so proud. And I think it shows I'm not that good. All I did was love him.
What a difference love makes.
Yeah. Love makes all the difference.
So you are living proof that love changes things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
And now, did you get pushback? What was the response when you decided? Did you have a lot of people saying, why are you doing this, discouraging you, or did you get support?
Yeah, I was accused of brainwashing and hypnosis. My son is transgender, and so they were absolutely sure that I was the reason, because I'm a gay man, so of course my son had to be transgender because I brainwashed him. I filled his head with it. He hadn't received medical care in 5 years under his parents, and so when he came to live with me, we went to the doctor. We were getting things organized and set up. So I made him believe he had all of the health challenges that he did, but he was fine. His teeth were rotting out of his head. He hadn't seen a dentist in numerous years, but I hypnotized him into believing his teeth were bad, I guess.
I mean, love is the most hypnotic drug.
Right.
So, I mean...
Yeah, and to what gain? I have left the marriage because my husband didn't want a kid. I have restarted my life because people didn't want a kid. But I think sometimes, to call back to the God thing, I think sometimes you were called to love the people in your life, and you don't always get to choose who those people are. I loved him, and I saw him for who he was, and now, I mean, the sky is the limit. The universe is the limit, and not just the sky. This kid could go anywhere. I'm very, very proud, and he now goes forth and he loves his siblings. We're actually going to have one stay the night tonight. We're going to have snack night and movie night and play video games and all of the stuff that kids need, that attention, that love. and teaching that you can get better, and there are new circumstances. Things that I never thought would happen in my life have happened for me, and I know that they can happen to you. You just got to hang on. You've got to hold on. And it's amazing what a little bit of love can do, truly.
Yeah. And you're actually getting to see all that love you pour into him get poured into now his younger siblings. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
He runs an Instagram. He's got like 30,000 followers on his Instagram account, where he's out there, he's sending encouraging messages to young LGBT youth, encouraging them to hold on. They'll send him, messages. They have real problems. And he'll be out there Googling, trying to find resources for them, people that they can reach out to that can help. Because, we're poor. We live in the middle of Florida. There's probably not much we can physically do, but we can at least point people toward the smart folks who can help them. He is an amazing force for good. And all it took was somebody to listen to him and believe in him and love him, and then get out of the way and let him grow.
Love that, Josh.
Thank you.
That is a beautiful thing. And if more people would, start pouring love into the people that are around us, that are placed in our lives, that are going through these challenges and hardships, then, maybe we can change this world after all.
Absolutely. There was a time I received a phone call from him. He was telling me goodbye. I was an influential adult in his life, but I wasn't dad at that point. And he had taken an entire bottle of pills, drank a whole bottle of alcohol, and slashed his wrist. He was not making any, not taking any chances. He was done. He was checking out. So I'm on the phone. I'm like, "Oh, kid, blah blah blah," and I'm dialing 911 on the other. I think the most important thing a parent or just an adult can do is listen. When your kids are telling you that there's a problem, listen to them. Don't dismiss them as, well, that's just kid business. You'll grow. They may not grow up. They may not have another day. They may not have another chance. You are gifted today to be with your children. There's no guarantee you'll make it. Lord knows all the problems out there, but there's no guarantee your kid will make it either. You really have to listen and be there and be present and be willing to advocate, because I know the fact that there are 80% of transgender youth idealize or think about, have ideation of suicide. That drops down to regular levels if they have a supportive adult in their life. They're regular kids. Florida right now is in the process of trying to outlaw transgender youth, but they know who they are. They don't need a law. They don't need a politician to tell them who they are or who they should be. These kids know who they are today, and if we adults will just listen to them and accept them and love them today as they are, they can grow up to be amazing adults who are loving the other people in their lives, who are doing good things, who run Instagram accounts that say, "Hey, don't kill yourself." If you'll just listen, if you'll just support them. Because if you don't, that could all stop. And would you rather have an empty bedroom than a trans child? Because those could be your choices. Not every trans person kills themselves, obviously.
Yeah, but the thoughts are there.
The thoughts are there. What is it worth? It's okay to confront an angry aunt at a family reunion if it means you get to keep your kid. Because they bring a lot of light and a lot of joy. And my life is so much better now that I have that vibrance, that youth, that young, activity in there. And look, it's tough, right? I'm dad. I'm driving everybody around, and I'm feeding everybody the snacks, and I'm paying the bill at the restaurant. What a privilege! What a holy responsibility! And I'm so thankful that I get to do it.
Love that. beautiful.
Aw, thank you.
No, thank you. So, do you think there will be other kids? Maybe not under these tough circumstances, but you think you would go for it again? Would you? Adopt
Absolutely.
another?
Yeah. If I had the resources, absolutely. You know, or just work in an advocacy role. You know, there are a lot of folks who come and talk with me. I have a young person right now, one of his best friends, staying with us, had a little difficulty with mom, and so now resides on our couch. And he has the same rules and expectations, and he's learning the same love that shocked the snot out of August is shocking the snot out of this one too. And so it's a good thing. Like, you know, I'm not encouraging you to just like go out and grab a trans child and hug them up, but honestly, if you see a kid having a hard time, buy him a Coke. You know, find something that can just improve somebody's day. Just be kind.
Please don't approach a child you don't know and try to hug them. You don't know
what
people's trauma is, but you can, like Josh said, just offer to buy them a cold beverage or hot.
Yeah, just, you know, I'm actually very conscientious of using terms like love and family, because, look, I have lovely parents. In my home, love and family means safety and compassion and goodness.
Acceptance.
But not everyone feels the same. You know, maybe they will have been beaten by somebody who says, I love you, or I only do this because I care. So we have to be very conscientious when we're using terms like love and family, that we understand that not everybody's family is great. And maybe the idea of saying, oh yeah, you're part of my family, could scare somebody pretty badly. Just be there, be a pillar, listen to them, and do your best.
I love that. Yeah. Okay. So you heard it. Where can we find you?
You can find me. I've got a little blurb. I own just a tiny website that does nothing else but say hi. You can go to moshjosh.com, moshjosh.com.
Well, thank you for sitting down with me today. It's
been my pleasure.
Thank you, guys. Have a beautiful day.